All right. What's up, Dave?
Evening.
Oh, all right. I thought you were frozen. All right. Well, we got a lot to get into. Dave and I both have stuff to show, and there's lots of news to get into. And there will be a poll. We're going to go over 4 reissue announcements, and then we'll do a poll to see which one people like the most of them. And yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to that because I do want to lean into a criticism that I have that I think will be fun to do.
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway, what's up, Dave?
Oh, kind of a big, kind of a big week
Okay. What do you mean?
for record collecting over here.
Okay. What's going on?
We'll just jump into the big one.
Oh, you mean what you picked up? Okay, let's see it.
Yeah, this is quite something. So this is Sun Ra, the night at night of the purple moon. Let me see if I can find my. Well, it's Sun Ra and his intergalactic infinity orchestra. It's a
Okay.
mouthful.
That looks like a big one.
Yeah. Alex sent me a link to a
So
seller,
Alex who? Alex who?
Diamond Marimba channel. Um,
Okay.
used to be Motoric 247, but he sent me a link to a seller in Wisconsin that had a bunch of L Saturns, early pressings, some originals, and this one was very intriguing. Now, I've always had this record here. This is the 2002 reissue
Yes.
with the
Yeah.
original 1970 cover
Yeah.
that was on L Saturn.
And those are the Scorpio cuts?
I'm not sure about 2002,
Okay.
but this has been a fine reissue for me for
Yeah.
many many years. Now this is a scaled down group, so it's up. It tends to be that way when there's not as many guys on the recording. I tend to lean towards those being some of my favorites. So this is
Yeah.
just Sun Ra on 2 Moog synths, rocks a chord. John Gilmore's on tenor and does some percussion on this. Danny Davis is on alto and clarinet, and Stafford James is on electric bass. So
Very
this
nice.
can get out, but real quirky and beautiful stuff. One of my favorites. Definitely a top 10.
Question for you, Dave, from
Yeah,
Mark H.
yeah.
Dave, how do you feel about Ra's late 80s output on Black Saint?
I dig it. Um, they're right here.
Boom.
There you go.
So those
Yeah,
are bigger groups?
yeah, bigger group, but a lot of the same guys are still there. I mean,
Is it
Pat Patrick,
always
Marshall Allen, Danny Ray Thompson, John Gilmore. These guys stuck with him for life. You
is it
know.
is it always orchestra, or when you see orchestra, does that mean it's a big band?
Um, Usually it's got the name orchestra in there,
Okay.
whether or not it's, you know what I mean. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes it will be titled the Sun Ra Trio, if it's just
Okay.
a trio.
Okay.
Like God is more than love can ever be. That's just a trio record. Um, but yeah, this one's very special because Sun Ra painted the cover himself. Um, Wrote on the back, recorded early 1970. That's the 1974 label. And basically, this was normally how they did the hand painted cover for Invisible Shield.
Hmm.
But when they would press like 50 copies to bring on a US tour, so they'd have something at the merch table. If they had run out of covers, because in 1974, when they reissued this record, they still had that original cover, right? The original 1970 cover. Well, if he ran out of covers, then he would make some like this
Yeah.
and Frankenstein it and have something to have at the shows. So probably in 1974, 1975 on a tour, this was sold at a show.
Can you
And
show people? Can you show people the L Saturn label, or
yeah,
is that Saturn?
yeah, it's an L
Okay.
Saturn.
Okay.
It's basically probably they were taught, not for this title I don't think, but there was Toth labels, there's
Right.
the Saturn research labels, but in
What
the
is
early
Toth?
L Saturns.
Did Toth predate Saturn, or is that
No, Toth came a little after, but
okay?
this is what the 74 label looks like, and this is a dead mint copy.
Nice.
I love these labels. Yeah, the guy that goes by Hey Joe that we saw at WFMU, he's
Yep.
got this exact same press with the original cover.
Okay.
Um, I just happened to get the handmade cover by Sun Ra.
That's cool.
Um, yeah,
I'll
and
take that.
there is purple up here, so I don't know if that was intentional, but that's a huge. And the thing that's interesting is the 1970 original. That's what Dom's looking for. And I've been sending him links when I see him. Like Minty Vinyl in Germany has had multiple copies this year of the 1970 original. You know, they want like 800 euros, and then there's shipping and tariff and tax, and you know
So
that's
you
and
see
this was
Alex's,
you know
do you
half
see
that. You know,
do you
just
see
about.
Alex's comment here?
What's that?
It says the OG of this is on Thoth.
Oh, is it?
Thoth.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Well, either way, it's awesome.
Yeah,
And
well, maybe because it's a in the 50s they didn't have Toth, I don't think, and then it started showing up a little later because they were pressed in Chicago, the Toth.
okay. Yeah.
But this was he was putting records out in the late 50s, and this isn't until 1970. There is a Saturn 1970 one as well. And I think Dom's looking for the Saturn one, not the Toth. Anyway, they're
Dave, I don't know how
expensive
I'm
as
gonna.
shit.
I don't know how I'm gonna follow that up. Do you want to switch over?
Yeah, it's your turn,
Okay.
man.
All right. Dave and I are gonna go back and forth. So I think the thing that I have that's like kind of rare like that came in. I mentioned this one of the past live streams. I picked this up. This is usually, I think this is probably like a $300 record. There are copies online for like 400 and 500, but I think they're sitting. So I'm thinking probably more like a $300 record. Somebody had it listed on Etsy in Canada for $15 and $15 shipping. So this is the original Rocky Boyd Quintet, introducing Rocky Boyd. This is on Jazz Time.
Oh
So
wow.
this lineup, so Rocky Boyd, I think this is his only lead record. I think he had personal struggles that kept him from recording in the future. But it's Kenny Dorham's on this, Walter Bishop Jr., Ron Carter, Pete LaRocca. So that's the group there. They do a Coltrane track on this, but it's attributed to Pete LaRocca. So the timeline is Pete was working with Coltrane. He learned some of Coltrane's compositions that they were working through, one of them being Impressions. I think before maybe it was even named, and it was before it was recorded. Pete leaves, and I guess does Elvin Jones take over for Coltrane? I forget exactly who takes over, but Pete leaves, and he is on this record, and they do Impressions, but they name it. I think it's Avars, or no, it's Why Not, which was supposed to be a play off of So What, because Miles Davis on Kind of Blue. So it's Why Not, and it's a Coltrane song, and it's attributed to Pete LaRocca, which it ought not to be. But anyway, this was the first recording of it. Then Coltrane recorded it for Impulse.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, so it is pretty cool. Pete LaRocca, his kind of records that he shows up on all seem to be interesting.
Yeah.
And then you got Ron Carter, Walter Bishop Jr., and Kenny Dorham. And this was reissued on Muse as a Kenny Dorham title. I think it's the same title. It's like Ease It or Easy It or something. So you can get this. And this is the stereo copy. There's a mono. The mono only came out on Jazz Time. So I think that the mono copy, I think, does go for a lot of money. But this is a beautiful stereo.
Wow, I've never seen it, man.
There was no grading on it. But the pictures looked good, and it was cheap enough to take a risk on it. And it came in, and it's very clean. Plays great. That's the Jazz Time label. Yeah, there's deep grooves on it, and it's Bell Sound stamp in there. But yeah, I mean, it's a hard bop record. Is it essential? I would absolutely say not. But it is a cool record. If you can get it for cheap, it's great. So, but yeah, in terms of like offering something different, I didn't really get that from it, but it is, it's a nice hard bop record. So
that's a hell of a lineup.
It is a hell of a lineup, and it is cool to have more Pete LaRocca because
right.
he recorded with Sonny Rollins at the Village Vanguard. He's on that, along with whoever else is on that. I forget who the other drummer is. Does anybody know who the other drummer is? Is it Max Roach? Um, anyway, Peter Rook is on that. He's on
On the
Basra,
Blue Note record.
obviously. Yep, Basra.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And he's on a bunch of stuff, but it seems
Isn't
to
he
all
on
be like they're all like great
Bath
records.
record?
What's that?
The Turkish Bath record.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and Muse reissued that one as well.
There's an original on the wall at Angry Mom right now.
What do they want for it?
Couldn't tell if it said $350 or $250.
$350 would be a good price.
Yeah.
But yeah. So all right, nice, Dave. Man. Yeah, no, I'm really happy to get it. Dave, you're up.
Okay. I'll show this since it's right here. This is a CD. And it was my birthday the other day, and Nicole sent me a birthday message, and I told her, we miss her on here because she's, she was great showing all the CDs she had coming in, a lot of free jazz, a lot of improvised music, a lot of stuff I wasn't going to be aware of, a lot of new releases, things like that. And I told her that, and then she sent me a picture of this and said it had just come in. I didn't know this was being released. I would have missed it entirely. This is Larry Stabbins duets with Keith Tippett and Louis Maholo and the Birds Sang.
All right.
And so it's two separate deals because he played duets with these guys. Larry Stabbins, he plays tenor and soprano. And he did some duets with Keith Tippett back in 1983 in London. And so, I think he said something about they're the only, he played a lot with them, but these are the only recordings. And so that's on here. And then there's recordings from 2000 with him and Louis Maholo, also in London. And so they compiled it onto this CD. So this is really cool. Cool. And I don't have a lot of stuff with Larry Stabbins, but he's a really good sax player. So that came in the mail recently.
So when was that recorded?
The part of it was 83 and the other part was in 2000.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah, completely different things going on this.
Well, here's really the cool. Bandcamp. I dropped the link to the Bandcamp if anybody wants to check it out. It looks like they have some tracks up.
Yeah, it's very limited. I think maybe 500 and that's it.
Okay, yeah. Edition of 500.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I'm up next. Okay, I'll also show something new. This is something we spoke about numerous times on the stream, but it finally came in. This is New Jazz Underground hoodies. I got this direct from the label, and I haven't really been able to dive into it because it came in and the damn thing is scratched on both sides, like from the plant. So I reached out to see if they would replace it.
Okay.
So that was kind of a bummer, but yeah. Anyway, New Jazz Underground. They just released on their YouTube channel them playing in what is it? It's one of the parks in New York. I can't remember which one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and Washington Square Park. And anyway, it's recorded beautifully. It's great. Great, like in your face hard bop, by these guys, and stylistically very good. Worth checking out. So
anyway. Yeah, I walked through some of that park last year when I was up there.
Yeah. All right, Dave, you're up.
Okay, what else we got?
We'll do one more and then we'll get into the reissues.
Trying to remember the year on this. It's an original mono of Charles Mingus the Clown on Atlantic. This was one I'd been looking for a long time. I'm trying to think who showed this back in many years ago when I first started watching the VC, because I watched the VC for years before I actually started doing it myself. Anders in Sweden he showed this record. He's a guitarist, owns a label, um, and he had a vast jazz collection. And he's one of the first YouTubers I gravitated to. And he showed this record. This was one of his favorites. So you can't help but remember this cover. But
Yeah.
this is the Charles Mingus Jazz Workshop, and it's Mingus on bass, Curtis Porter on alto and tenor, Jimmy Nepper on trombone, Wade Legg on piano is great.
Yep.
Danny Richmond drums, who was with Mingus, on a lot of recordings.
Yep.
On the first side, Haitian Fight Song, it's good, not my favorite. Blue Sea is incredible, the second track, and then side 2 is great, and the clown is iconic.
Well,
That's the first Black Atlantic label, and I got it. I was checking out to see what Noble was doing on Whatnot, and I don't go on there very often, really only to see what Dylan's up to. And the thing will kick you out of there if you accidentally touch the screen half the time, and you'll end up stuck in someone else's slinging of records. So I had bookmarked Esky, who's Mazzy knows out Seattle area, because she had done a Sun Ra El Saturn original commission sale, if you remember that, from maybe a year ago. And someone local had an amazing Sun Ra collection. He got all those records from Sun Ra at shows in the 70s. And they went up, and I watched all the auctions. I didn't bid on anything.
Yeah.
Because it was nuts. Everybody overpaid. But which is good for Esky and the seller. But whatever. So I didn't get anything. So she was bookmarked. So it threw me into her thing. I was like, okay, well, she's got all her stuff she's going to have on, and I listed it in the store. So I looked in the store, and this was there. And her auction on this started at $1 or $3 or something. I got it for 40 some bucks. These go for, up to 200.
Yeah.
So I got a really good deal on it. Now, she didn't have a very good grade on it, but the B-side is, and I did a deep clean on this, the B-side's perfect. The A-side has a little bit of noise at the beginning and then settles down and is fine.
Okay. Where are the vocals on that? Is it on side B?
Yeah, not on side 1. Well, no, there is Haitian Fight Song.
Right. Okay. So this is not the first time that he recorded a studio record with vocals. There was the Jazz Experiments of Charlie Mingus on Bethlehem, where they do that great poem. And I'm not sure if he recites it or if they bring in somebody. Actually, let me take a quick look here. Who does vocals?
Well, the narration on the clown is from Gene Shepard. That's on the last track.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's actually, it's not the Jazz Experiments. Sorry, it's another one on Bethlehem. The Jazz Experiments are actually previous period recordings. When he was recording for Period, Bethlehem put that stuff out. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll show you the label.
But that's great.
Yeah, this was, I've been wanting this for like 15 years or something like that. It is a beautiful looking record.
Yeah.
I don't have very many early Atlantics like this.
Yeah.
Don't see him. I had never ever seen this record reissue of Otherwise in a bin in Charlotte in all my years of digging in this city. Like 30 years. I've never seen this record.
Yeah. Yeah, my Mingus is pretty limited. I have the Black and Blues one on Atlantic. Mm-hmm. I think I have a couple of them, but yeah. The Atlantic stuff for me, I haven't explored it enough, but it's way more orchestrated. It's bigger group. So I've always gravitated to his work on Candid, which I probably said 1,000 times on here, but that's like the smaller group improvisational stuff that I really like with Eric Dolphy.
Yeah, I was going to say Dolphy. And anything with Dolphy on it, I'm all about it. That guy is a favorite. That was my first ever jazz record was a Dolphy. So,
all right. Dave, do you want to talk about your EP?
Sure.
Can we get into that? All right. So, can I set this up?
Yeah, go ahead. So, Dave nonchalantly has put out an EP.
It's a little 7-inch with some great artwork on it, and it's a recording from 2008. It's a duo math/angular rock instrumental, right? Instrumental duo from North Carolina. It's Dave, and who's the other artist, Dave?
Joe Sloan's on drums.
Joe Sloan. Okay, now get this. Let me just quickly show this. All right, so I'm going to drop a link to this. This is on Carbon Records, so you can get it. It's $15 and $6 shipping in the U.S. So you can get it there. I just dropped the link. But get this. Okay, so it's Married Man Band is the artist. I Solve Problems is the title of the EP, and it's being put out by Brown Tooth Records USA.
Yeah, Brown Tooth.
What is the story behind that?
That was the label for Five Times Down back in the day, in the mid '90s.
Okay.
When we were
Okay.
on those early recordings from them. That was the band I wrote for. Joe was the bass player for that band. We used to play with bands like Clutch, Nothing Face, Stuck Mojo. You know, we sold out Tremont Music Hall, which was all the major label bands would go through. So we had probably the biggest show ever at Tremont.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was, we have a song on the Carrie 2 soundtrack, the Stephen King movie.
Now, how many of these did you press? Just so people kind
of. We pressed 200 with Gotta Groove in Ohio, and they did a phenomenal job. I inspected all 200 that arrived. They're all perfect.
That's pretty great.
And they did give us it was funny. They gave us 13 extra copies.
So how does it work with Gotta Groove? Do they cut the lacquer for you?
They do everything.
Okay.
They do everything. So we just had to provide them the audio files, and then they send a template for the artwork. And so Scott Slagle in Charlotte did the audio work for us, the restoration of the audio work. Okay. And James Buttery from the vinyl community in New Zealand did the layout for the record. And Joe's artwork on the front.
Yeah, I like Buttery's YouTube content. He has a great little listening room, and he has some cool records.
So this was a business card that we drew up the design for what we wanted an album cover to look like for a full length. But we only ever recorded these 2 songs in the attic where we jammed back in 2008 to tape. And so that tape was thought to be lost. And earlier this year, Joe found it in a closet behind his guitars or something.
Cool.
And I was like, dude, I know everybody in the industry now. I can get this done. Let's put this out on 7-inch. He agreed to do it. We split the cost. Very cool. We really had planned on just each getting 100 and giving them away to family and friends and having them for ourselves.
Yeah.
But I've got a local shop that was willing to put them in the shop at no charge. So any that sell in premium sound here in Charlotte, we'll get the money for those, because these were not cheap to make. They cost $10 a piece to make. That's what a 7-inch costs to make these days.
Okay.
So that, if you think 15's a lot for a 7-inch, it literally costs $10.
15 is totally reasonable. Piece. I mean, it's an independent press thing. I mean,
it's what it costs us out of pocket. We don't have Brown Tooth Records is us, so they're not paying for it. You know what I mean? Like we're not on an actual label. But yeah, so that's what we did.
Can you show the disc? Can you show people? Do you have a disc? The disc you can show?
Yeah, we blew up the artwork for the disc, and Buttery put all that together too. So here's the A side.
Okay, it's a 33.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a 45.
It is. Okay. All right.
It's just a small hole. No, it's a 45 RPM.
Okay.
It's just the 2 songs, 1 song aside. Lenore Dive and Carry On. There are music videos up on my page for these that I made and put together. They're basically slideshows. Yeah, so for Lenore Dive, all I did was I tried to find photos from that time frame because this was recorded in '08, so it was 18 years ago. Um, and the first song was pretty much inspired by uh, more of a style of Five Times Down. It's instrumental, so it's just me on guitar and Joe on drums.
Yeah.
So it's kind of heavy groove type thing. Um, I play a little. My 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 guitar is a very unique guitar, so it gets a lot of unique sound because it's a bass and guitar in one. I learned how to build that guitar from Scott Lucas and Local H because that's how he would play through an SG through two rigs at the same time. They didn't have a bass player, but he was hooked up through two jacks, one into a bass rig, one into a guitar rig. And I asked him how that was done, and I had the old man at Reliable Music in Charlotte gut the '88 SG custom or standard one I had and customize it and put a bass pickup in the neck and a DeMarzio Evolution in the bridge. It's a Seymour Duncan in the neck and a three-way switch and two jacks, so I can plug into two rigs. Um, so you get a lot of low end. You tune to drop C. This was probably drop C tuning. Um, that first song I start out playing clean, and then it goes to distortion. I think the second song is all clean, no distortion. Um, Carry on, and Joe just goes nuts on the drums on the second one. Um, but yeah, and then for whatever reason, life happens and we stop making music.
Well, you got to play it on the radio too, right? What's
Yeah,
the
it got
story with
played.
that?
This got played on 10. Is it 104.3? Is it in Rochester today? Because Joe at Carbon Records has been kind enough to purchase records from us for distribution. So that's where you can get them from, is from Carbon.
Yeah.
So,
I
and
dropped
I
I dropped
support
the
everything he
link.
does.
Let me see if I got. Yeah, I'll drop it again. Yeah, go check it out.
And lo-fi.
Only 200 pressed, and it's our core jazz bum Dave. So go
Yeah,
show some support.
yeah.
I
It's
put my order in earlier today.
awesome. Yeah, we
Yeah.
appreciate you supporting Carbon. Um, Joe's man, great dude, and everything he's putting out, all kinds of interesting music, wide variety. There is some jazz stuff, some crazy free jazz improvised stuff that he sells, as well as a lot of New Zealand stuff, and a lot of noise, experimental, American primitive guitar stuff is phenomenal that he sells. Um, yeah, excellent. He's up in Rochester, New York. Been doing it for a long time, and he
Yeah.
has a radio program, and he does now a YouTube videos. So
Cool.
yeah, this was a lot of fun. I'd never made a record before. I initially reached out to Gary, well, through Teddy at Eat Sleep Vinyl. He's really close friends with Gary Sahlstrom at
Okay.
Paramount in Denver, and through that I got to meet and tour the plant and get
Okay.
a whole step by step process, shown how the whole process works with plating and
Yeah.
everything from
Yeah.
Gary. That was incredible to meet him. He is the best in the world.
Yeah. That's very
And
cool.
so I wanted to have this pressed by Paramount and by Gary, and they don't do 7 inches yet. They're not,
Oh, right. Okay.
they're a
Yeah.
new plant, so they're
Yeah.
not doing 7 inches yet. So his recommendation was Got a Groove. That was his recommendation.
Yeah.
And
I think RTI only does 12-inch LPs or 12-inch 45s too.
yeah, we could have done this through GZ. It was about the exact same price, except they're in what is it, Austria? Wherever they are over there, they're in Czech
They're
Republic.
in Germany, I think. Or I don't
Czech
know. I'm not
Republic.
sure.
They're in the
Czech
They're
Republic.
in
Yeah.
Czech Republic. I always get them confused with Mott's being in Austria, but it was going to cost a shit ton to get it shipped here, and then tariff and all that. So it was just made way more
No,
sense.
Gotta Groove. It's fantastic. I have their, um, I think they did the Black Jazz Gotta Groove. I think press that reissue set. They also did the
Black
I
Unity,
forget.
Black Unity Trio.
Okay. And yeah, they do some of that more avant stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they
Yeah.
they did a phenomenal job on this. I thought when we got the test pressings there was an issue, but that issue was with my stereo because
Hmm.
I took the same copies over with the test pressings over to Premium Sound, and they played perfectly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got 5 test pressings. I've sent one of those to Buttery, for his work on the record, and I'm getting some of these out in the mail to people um, that had asked me for one prior and all that.
Yeah.
So I think
And
I've given away or sold 25 already.
I have the Gotta Groove pressed Horse Tap Scott stuff too. All that
Oh
stuff
yeah,
sounds
yeah, yeah.
fantastic. Yeah. The Giant Awakens or something. The Giant, I think, has got a
Oh,
groove.
that yeah, I have that.
Yeah.
Right. Hold on, it's right. Literally,
Yeah.
I
It's
got
like
my
the only
hand
way to
on that
get it
record.
besides paying like $500 for an original.
So we segue into jazz. Here we go.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
Dave,
Real
congratulations.
gone
The
music.
chat is super pumped for this. So well done putting this out.
Yeah, this is like a lot of people really, really love this record. Tam Scott's on piano, Arthur Blythe on alto, David Bryant is on bass, Walter Savage is also on bass, and Everett Brown on drums.
Mhm.
Bob Thiel produced this. But the only thing is, it's on green vinyl, which I was kind of, when you're doing a remake of a iconic, expensive original, I kind of want it to look like the original altogether.
I think mine is black.
Yeah,
Pretty
from
sure.
back in '69 on Flying Dutchman, and I don't think it even has the Flying Dutchman logo on the front. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. This was not even close to my favorite Tap Scott record, though.
Which is your favorite?
The Call.
Okay.
Yeah,
Didn't you
that's
just get an original of that?
yeah, yeah. And I sold my reissue to Dylan, but that's a good record. Not a. I don't think it's a great record. That's a hot take, I guess.
I haven't spent enough time with it. I have the Call, a reissue of that on. I forget who did that. And then I have the Giant, and that might be it.
And there's the original of the Call. Tice helped me get this. He procured this one for me at the Denver Record Show from Slolo, who will be at VinylCon tomorrow. They have a box of dead stock of these, and they still have some more.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a good price too. Really good price. Big group on this. Linda Hill on piano. Adele Sebastian's on vocal and flute. Just two of the most amazing women
All
in
right,
the
Dave.
history of jazz.
Let's switch over to the reissues. I want to present. I guess it's an argument, and just kind of get your reaction to this, as well as people in the chat. Let me know too. I don't think any of this is novel, but I just wanted to kind of go through it. Okay, we're going to go into the reissues now. The first set of reissues are by Kraft's OJC. They're doing John Coltrane with the Red Garland Trio, Relaxing with the Miles Davis Quintet, and then Charlie Brown Christmas. Now, I think the Christmas one makes sense. That should just be in print, and if it's a nice pressing, all analog, great.
Yeah, because they
would
will
consider
sell
buying
every copy.
Yeah, because I actually have a copy of this from VMP, and it plays with tons of noise. So I would actually like to get a clean copy. So I'm happy that there's a AAA one in print. So whatever, it's Charlie Brown Christmas. It comes out every season. They do something, every season. No big deal. I don't want to apply that same type of thinking to the Coltrane with Red Garland and the Relaxin. So Kraft obviously did the one-step Relaxin, which apparently did not sell out. And I always thought it didn't sell out because the Analog Productions 33 was in print and it's AAA, and people just bought that for $40. So I assume that was the case there. But I do want to call out like that Analog Productions does have this in print. It's Stoughton tip-on jacket, 180 gram Kevin Gray, QRP, I guess is OJC RTI. But I mean, like these differences are very minimal. So this record is essentially already being produced by another company that's out there, which obviously Kraft can do whatever they like, but I was just thinking about this and just how, I don't know, just asking questions. So the John Coltrane with Red Garland, also part of the Analog Productions. All right, let me just go a little deeper here before I get your take, Dave. Now, for the Coltrane and Miles 100, they're also reissuing this on OJC. This is the Coltrane self-titled on Prestige, and what is this? Is this Smokin' or Steamin' with the Miles Davis Quintet? These are also Analog Productions. So they're redoing stuff that's already available. If you want to get it, you could essentially get this already. And then this year, they put out the Miles 56 box, which has this material in it. This just came out. It's the same material as these Miles Davis records. So these are the Analog Productions. These are all available in stock, $40. And yeah, so I just wanted to just kind of ask your opinion on, is this anything like, should we just assume they're going to do this and they'll do cool titles whenever? Like, I just wanted to lay that out. What do you think of this?
Well, those $40 records are great records. How much are these that are coming out now?
What's that?
How much are these ones that are coming out now?
I think they're probably around the same price.
About 40?
Yeah, maybe like I don't know. How much are OJCs? Are they less than 40? I don't know.
Yeah,
they're around $40.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm gonna lean towards Chad.
Well, I think if you don't have it, honestly, I don't know. Maybe the OJC is the way to go, but it's just available. It's a Kevin Gray all analog cut. It's essentially the same exact thing. I don't know. Like maybe Kevin Gray's system has been upgraded since then. That's very possible. But I mean, who are you targeting with that nuance?
Yeah, well, the casual buyer that walks into the record stores, they just want the title, so they're going to pick up and put in their hand whatever's in there. If it would be weird to see a record store carry both.
We got Alex. What's up, Alex?
Oh, what's up? What's up, guys?
And yeah, he's worked or works in a record store, so this would be a good segment.
Alex, did you hear my setup at all by any chance just now?
No, at all.
Okay.
No.
Well, we're talking.
All right. Well, I think you'll appreciate this.
Yeah.
Again, I am just presenting things as an argument, I guess, but not really, leaning in too hard. But I was just saying that this Coltrane, this Relax with Miles Davis, let's skip the Charlie Brown because whatever, Charlie Brown's coming out every year.
Yep.
This Coltrane self-titled and Steamin' with the Miles Davis Quintet for the 100. These were all announced recently.
Yep.
These are all available as Analog Productions 33s. Same.
Those are the copies I have.
Yeah, and then I was saying that Nick Phillips just put out the Miles stuff in the Miles 56 box. So like they're putting stuff out that's readily available. It's like identical stuff. So what are they doing out?
Oh yeah, ask me, of course. Look, yeah, I was having this conversation with a couple of buddies because he was like, "Oh, did you see the new OJCs?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, it's great, but what confuses me is like you just said, those Analog Productions 33s are all still in print, readily available for the exact same cost. And this is where I'm wrong. This is where I don't fit in. I really emphasize the bum of the jazz bums, Mike. You know this. I think those were those Kevin Gray cuts.
Yes.
And are these Luthans?
Yes. I'm pretty sure these are Kevin Gray cuts. So Kevin's getting the tapes again.
And even like down to like the jacket style. Like I don't know.
Yeah. The only difference would be, and actually this is a plus for Analog Productions. Analog Productions never mess with the original catalog numbers. And why that I care about that is it's part of some of the cover designs. They have the Prestige stylized into like the new Miles Davis Quintet one, for example. Kraft like removed that and put their own stuff there. And anyway, so that's actually a plus for Analog Productions, even though that's minor.
You'll love this because you'll see first time on the show, long time listener, first time caller. Let me show you why I'm such a bum. Because it's part of this whole thing. Why I was such a schmuck to do this.
All right, let's see it.
Make sure your pants are on when you come back out.
But Dave, what do you think about this?
I think that they believe there's the market's still big enough
Okay.
that they're going to sell units. So they made units.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I
okay.
said, if every record store is carrying both, that's a little weird, you know.
So I do have recommendations on what other Miles and Coltrane records they could select. So we'll of course get into that in a little bit.
Okay, so
All right, what do you got?
I should have just pulled it because like the first I have Bags Groove with Miles and Milt.
Okay.
But then of course, you know, like we were just talking about it, like that great, cool, love that. This was, I guess, the original one because this was not part of. I don't think.
No, it wasn't. That was why that was a brilliant selection.
Right, because that was not part of that.
So what Alex is saying is that Chad released the 3 of the 456 Miles sessions. So when OJC started, they did the one that Analog Productions didn't do, and everybody needed that one. So
right.
that's why I picked that up too. Yeah.
You know, and obviously, like, is this coming? Probably. Or you could be like me.
Good.
And get, you know, the
infamous.
ever famous. You could buy this now for about $40, I think.
What's your review on that? What's your review on it?
Well, here's my review because this was 5 years ago.
Well, actually, say what that is for people listening, Alex.
So this is relaxing, but this was what do they call it? The craft small batch.
Right.
Yes.
And I think this was the third in the small batch because what was the because I think what had happened, they did Lush Life and it like blew up.
Yeah.
And then it was
then
like
the Yusuf.
Yeah.
What, did they do Eastern Sounds?
Yes. I got it.
Okay.
It was like, that was back when, oh my God, I have such fond memories now. That was back when you'd get a special code to order it and everybody like attacked the website. And it was just like, I bought it in seconds. Like it was so difficult to find. And then it sold out in just like a couple minutes.
Nice record.
Yeah. Well, and then I don't know, maybe because this was, I guess the third one they did. And you would think like, okay, great. You know,
yeah, exactly.
It was part of the same thing where everybody was like looking around. They're like, well, we have these imprint Analog Productions ones like for $40
that we just bought. We literally just bought this 3 months ago. Yeah.
And I want to say was this Bernie?
I think so. Yeah, I think that's right. Okay.
So, you know, you could go down that rabbit hole. But yeah, I think, I mean, for me, I was like so early in the collecting and especially like the jazz game.
Yeah.
That I just saw, you know, what happened with Lush Life and then Eastern Sounds. And I was like, oh, this is going to, you know, this is the buy now or cry later sort of thing.
I have a lot. I just to the point of, I think somebody said that these sound very good. The Analog Productions, I listen to a lot of, I've been very fortunate to get clean originals, and I do have some duplicates with the Analog Productions. And the Analog Productions is like right there with it. It's not as big as a difference between an OG Blue Note and like a classic series or a Tone Poet. Like that, I feel like there is like a fairly big difference of a sound. The original Van Gelder Prestige and the Analog Productions ones, I feel like I have the Bags Groove duplicate. I have All Night Long, an original, and the AP. And Chad's like kind of edges them out a little bit. So they're great pressings. I have had some with noise though, and I realized it too late and I didn't ask for a replacement. But yeah, so, you know, just something to note. All right, Dave, what do you think about these reissues?
The OJCs?
I think all these titles they're doing.
They could have, I think, didn't we talk about this last time or in the chat? There's so much jazz that needs to still be reissued. I mean, that they have access to. I think they should have put their efforts into something that we haven't seen yet.
Okay.
But the market is the market. And they
I agree. They can
that are looking at what's selling and what would sell, and that's what they're doing.
I know, but
they'll move these units.
I get the financial argument, but I feel like these are in print already. So is there a financial argument? Like, is this a smart decision?
I don't know. They'll find out the hard way. if it's, it depends on how many of the record stores are
So
willing to
if they
take
can
on
make
it.
money, whatever, go make money. That's not what I'm criticizing.
I think two things, because when you're showing it, you're like, forget about Charlie Brown. No, let's remember Charlie Brown, and here's why. Because they do about 6 reissues of that record a year. Most of those are on like glitter green Christmas tree vinyl or something, right? But I mean, I remember like, In Groove Mike talking. It seems like every other year of like, get this one. This is the Kevin Gray cut. This is there's already even the audiophile version of that record. And I mean, that's an interesting one because I would guess that 97% of people who own that record, no matter what version of it is, the audiophile side is probably I would say that record is played on a Crosley more than anything else. What I mean, all I mean by that is that it's just a popular generic Christmas album that everybody loves. You know what I mean? Like, that's
now there is a
jazz record, right? Like it is, but it isn't.
Yeah, it's a jazz record.
No, I mean, stylistically, it's a jazz record. But when people are like, "What's your favorite jazz record of all time?" You're not going to say a Charlie Brown Christmas.
Well, maybe some people may say that, but I get your point. That it's like it's bigger than it's like it's part of like the culture of
It's great, and people are already asking one of my locals for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
we're asking for it.
I honestly might pick that up because Alex, I said earlier, I have a VMP reissue and it plays with noise, so I need a copy, and this might be the one to go.
Vinyl Me Please did Charlie Brown?
Yeah, they did like a limited run of like 200, so I like quickly bought it. It was back like during all this FOMO crap that was happening.
The VMP FOMO.
But apparently it's AAA, but the pressing is no good. That's it.
I got the Sonny Chirac through Carlson.
So anyway, I did want to, so Dave, to your point, like there's other stuff to do. I pulled up just some like Coltrane Prestige that haven't been done that I would like to be done. And then the Miles gets a little more complicated and I'll explain why. But for the Coltrane, I think people, if they haven't done, they may have done this already, but this seems like a no brainer. Like the Coltrane with Quinochet, Catton, it's it's 2 tenors and Quinochet is like a Texas tenor style with Coltrane. I think it's like from 58 or something like that.
Yeah, early stuff.
But very good. If you want to, the prestige stuff they're looking for. Set in the Pace is excellent. It's a quartet. I don't have a copy of this because an original can get a little pricey.
Really, it's a great reason they need to do it.
Paul Chambers on bass
I got those for like $8.
He's taking long, nice bowed bass solos on this. Really cool stuff. You have this one, John Coltrane with Tad Dameron. Tad Dameron is integral to the compositional makeup and style of bop and bebop. And Fats Navarro came up through him. A ton of people came up through him. And those compositions are because of Tad Dameron, like Hot House, for example. Yeah. So very few people even have him in their collection. This is a Rudy recording with him and Coltrane. So Dameron on piano, Coltrane mating call. There's something here that people don't have that I think, make it desirable, for people to explore Dameron more.
Yeah, Mike, I don't have that record, the Dameron. Yeah. It was once on the wall at Lunchbox for $200. I didn't know if that was a good price or not, and I wasn't messing around with Discogs that day, and I probably screwed up and passed on it.
And yeah, I mean, it's an expensive record. Like an original of this is hundreds of dollars. I mean, it's not.
Yeah,
cheap.
he had 200 on it. It was a nice copy.
All these originals of any of these are going to be pretty pricey. And then you have high pressure Red Garland Quintet with John Coltrane. Just another solid record. So I think all of these are fine. I think they're all Hackensack. They all sound good. Audiophiles would like them. They're stuff that hasn't been reissued yet. Now the Miles stuff is a little more complicated because it's pre-Rudy. It's pre-Hackensack fidelity being captured. So not all of it, but some of it. So I could see how OJC would not want to put, like they might be, because these are also like compilations of like this session from 54 and 53 and 55. It's just like, it's all this, type of stuff that really kind of came out on 78 and 10 inch.
Yeah. It's hard to get the source material.
Right. And then when the LP came up in like 55, Prestige just started making them and, compiling stuff together. So this is Blue Haze. This is a great record. It's got, like I said, 3 sessions on here. You have Horace Silver on here playing with Miles. Like early Horace Silver, Art Blakey with Miles here. I mean, that's from 54. So that's like right when Horace Silver and Blakey are doing the thing for Blue Note and with Clifford Brown. So, this is stuff that is cool. Now the fidelity of this, I don't know. I can't remember exactly. Miles Davis collector's items. The B side of this has Miles with Sonny Rollins and Charlie Parker. All right. So anyway, so this could be cool. And the A side or the B side is a Hackensack session. You have this one here. I won't go into detail, but this is Miles Davis, Modern Jazz Giants. You have him with Monk on here. This is, I think, a compilation too. And then one more that has not been reissued in a modern sense is Miles Davis and Milt Jackson Quintet Sextet. I think this is a Hackensack session or 2 sessions. So anyway, there are stuff that they could go to put out.
Here's a couple of those originals right here.
And that wasn't even everything. Those were the ones I just selected, and that was probably too much to show.
Yep.
These are first pressings. Forget where I got the collector's items. Huh. This one I got at a house in Winston-Salem. There's this massive, massive house that was a record store. It was something oldies. And
hold on, Dave. Louis, why don't you hold on, Dave? Louis, can you come up and show us your new gear, please?
Oh yeah, Louis, get up on here, dude.
All right.
Yeah, it's this old house, and it was the first time I went there. They were going out of business, so they were having a going out of business sale. They had a whole room of the house that was just Frank Sinatra records, like 800 Frank Sinatra records. It was crazy. And they had a big giant wall of jazz, and I went through and I pulled out a few, and this was one I found. And they were just liquidating. And then they moved what they could move, and then Sugar Records out of Chicago jumped in and bought everything else.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was happy I got a couple out of there before they got out of the game.
Yeah.
I think they got out too early.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I didn't, I was just looking at this, and I feel like most people are thinking what I'm thinking. I don't know. Are we all in agreement here?
Yeah, they could have done some of these that haven't.
And of course, they could do whatever they want, and they probably will put some of these titles I showed out in the future. So it's not like there's a rush either. But I don't know. It just had me scratching my head a little bit.
I agree.
I wonder, I do wonder about the decision making on the production side. I don't have to worry about that with Tone Poet. That's obviously, I mean, this has been said over and over and over, but I don't know who's the jazz curator for OJC. I'd like to know, I don't know if there is one.
I'm sure they have a formula.
There might not even be
right
one,
now,
honestly.
Yeah.
So. All right. Okay. Well, let's move on. Actually, before we do, Alex, do you want to show a record?
Yeah, I'll show a record. This came in yesterday, I think. Not a reissue. And I selfishly have not actually listened to this copy yet because I've been having all types of power-related issues and things here at my apartment. But I don't know if I saw a ton of people talking about this. And I don't know much about this reissue sort of campaign, but it's part of the ECM Luminescence series. And it's the Jewel and the Lotus.
Oh yeah,
from
Very
Benny
nice.
Maupin. I know these aren't inaccessible. They're not that expensive, but I kind of went down this Herbie band people rabbit hole with people like Benny, Buster Williams, etc. All these kind of people. But this is it's funny because my way into ECM was through Pat Metheny, you know what I mean? And it still kind of does have that, certain labels, records, ECM has a sound. They just have a sound.
So to that point, do you think that has the ECM sound?
I think this has, I don't think it has the ECM sound. I think this has, there's a very atmospheric-y kind of textural thing. And call that a sound if you want to, but this doesn't sound like a Pat Metheny record. But because what was this, 74? something?
Yeah, I'm trying to find mine. What did I do with them?
Yeah, I was talking with a friend recently, and I won't say who it was just in case they don't want this to be said, but like we were talking about our favorite ECMs, and they were all of the ECMs that didn't sound like ECMs.
Yeah, no, I could totally. Yeah, there's like this stuff, and then what do you like Don?
But
Cherry,
we included that too.
But I mean, I think you could say the same thing. Not that they sound alike, but like you could say the same thing about like this, CTI, for example. Like there was just like this, like there's good CTI and bad CTI, and maybe there's some stuff that is not as polished, but they all kind of have like that.
Sorry, I just knocked my drink over. I'm good.
It's like
You're
somebody
good.
fell
No,
over.
it's
yeah.
fine.
But yeah, this is
all right. Very cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
But yeah.
Benny Maupin. Yeah, I do not have that. I've looked into it. It's like $150 record, I think, the original.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
This one cost me $50 when I got it years ago.
So who's the band on
that? It was
that?
expensive then.
Who's the band on that?
It's basically the Mwandishi band, isn't it? I mean, yeah, Herbie, Buster, Frederick Waits, Billy Hart, Bill Summers.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Charles Sullivan on trumpet. This if you like that one, this is also killer.
Yeah.
This one's total groove on this one. Yeah. Treese Russian's on this on piano. She's so great.
Amazing.
I need some more of her stuff. I've never been able to find it.
I just have what was the jazz dispensary that was it just Russian?
Yeah, with her on the cover with the piano, like
yeah, it's like yeah.
I need that record.
Because that was a prestige record.
Yeah. I need to get it. I'm glad we brought that up because they might have it at Lunchbox. I'm going there tomorrow.
So Alex, what I don't know what brought you to that? You said you were going down like a Herbie Hancock group.
Yeah.
Rabbit hole.
Right? Like I think that was like, yeah. Well, I guess two different sides. There was the, like the Buster Williams Pinnacle set or that came out for Record Store Day was like an absolute favorite. I mean, between that and Charles Tolliver, one like. Those were just incredible. But yeah, I guess it was like because I think it probably started with those two Eddie Henderson records I have. I love. Like,
which ones?
There's one on Blue Note, Sunburst. Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
And then one of the ones that's on Capricorn, Realization,
right.
I think it might be called.
Oh yeah, I know that one. That one's good.
Yeah, and so it was just like, wow, I kind of like love the idea where it's just like, okay, it's their record, but it's essentially still like the Mwandishi band.
Yeah, what year is that? 69? What year is that?
No, those were like 70, somewhere between 72
okay.
and 4.
Okay, all right, so okay. Yeah, those are cool. The Eddie Henderson isn't someone I've dove too deep into, but that one specifically, Revelation or whatever it's called.
Yeah,
what is it?
Realization.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah.
Is Benny Maupin on that?
He might be.
I think he might be. Hey, Louie.
Hey, man. What's up, dude?
Your resolution looks a little choppy on my end. But anyway, it's fine. You sound fine. I don't know either. It's okay.
Louie.
Yes.
Oh, look at this.
Yes.
This is now you know where this ends up getting filed once I file it?
No.
Right next to Shellac.
Nice.
Yeah. That's a good place to be.
All right, can we just say what that was? Can we give a little promo to Louie here?
Yeah.
So what was that? Show that record.
Now this is a proper record. My record's just a little shitter 7-inch.
Your record's cool as shit, man.
This is Dark Forces 95, and this is literally, special thanks is to the devil on this. That's important to know.
Yes. Very creative, Louie.
No, man, you got production wise, holy shit. It just sounds so good.
It does sound really good.
Sound. I don't know how you can get a better guitar sound.
So if you're interested in this, Louie, is this on your Bandcamp? Yes, it's on your Bandcamp.
Yeah, it's on my Bandcamp.
So I'll get a link to that. So if you're interested, check it out. You could stream it, and you can purchase.
I'm
physical
so glad
media
you
too.
guys think it sounds good because I've fucking worked
Yeah.
my ass off on that shit. man.
Yeah, all that gear you've always shown over the years. I was wondering, it's like, why does he have so much gear? Like, what is the gear?
Dude,
It's
I
so you
sold
could
it
get
all.
this sound.
Dude,
You
it
had to
wasn't me.
toy with it.
It wasn't me. I worked on like writing everything and performing everything, but like I sold all my studio gear. The shit that you see here, like
Mhm.
those are the 2 microphones I have.
Yeah,
left.
you had a big purge, right? You had a giant
I
Oh,
purge.
no
sold
shit.
everything.
Hold on, before we
Wow.
move over to Louis, Alex, was Benny Maupin on that record?
Yeah, he's on both. He's on both of these. So
Boom.
really,
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Yeah.
this is definitely the funk. This is a funky masterpiece, man. This thing grooves so good. This is a little
Like
bit
a
more. I guess.
lawnmower man of jazz.
But yeah, I mean, you have Buster Williams, Herbie, Billy Hart. Like it's the Herbie.
Is
band.
that a promo?
It sure is, man. It's got the white label and everything.
Woo!
Now,
That's
that
how it
other
works.
record, I've
Yeah.
never found the other one. That's getting a little harder to find.
Me either. Yeah, there's one other one he did on Capricorn I've never seen.
Wow.
Cool.
Nice.
That's very cool. All right, Louis, tell us about your big purge.
Oh, well, I was collecting studio gear and shit and making my own records for my whole life. And then like I realized that I was learning more about that shit and buying more gear instead of writing music.
Did you purge your jazz records?
No, I've been buying so many goddamn records.
Which ones have you been buying? What new jazz do you have?
Oh, I don't even know, man. I've probably bought 60 records in the last 6 months.
Damn. Okay.
Mostly
And
jazz.
you haven't been on to show them off.
Well, they're all reissues.
We can catch
A
up.
couple of them aren't reissues, but most of them are just reissues. They're like fucking
Yeah.
Pokemon to me when it comes to Blue Note. Like I'm so down the Blue Note rabbit hole. I feel like that's a new jazz, somebody new to jazz thing to do, but I'm just like taking
It
all
doesn't.
the way.
It's because they're good. I listened to all that stuff from that era, and Blue Note really is just better. It
Yeah, and
just
now I'm
is.
getting into.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's giant exceptions all over the place, but consistently, Alfred Lyon's Blue Note is just fucking awesome.
Now,
It's also like the way that Black Sabbath is a gateway to all the subgenres of metal, right? All roads back to Black Sabbath. Like Blue Note is a great gateway branching of that because it's all super incestuous and like, you find a sound that you like. Like I really like Hank Mobley lately this year, and like he's been on all kinds of shit all over the place, not just Blue Note. So it's like it's easy to get into other stuff that way too. Once you identify.
What do you like? Any title that you can remember that stands out
of Hank's?
Yes.
I was just listening to Workout, Taru, and today I listened to Workout and Taru, and I've got like he probably makes up the most of my collection. So I've got almost all the shit that you can get, but that's what I listen to.
Okay. I like Mobley. I've grown to appreciate Mobley. I've always liked him, and then I kind of got more into Coltrane and all these other players, and I kind of left Mobley for a little while, and then I came back to him, and I realized,
Yeah, and I'm finally
he's a great tenor player.
I'm finally understand. Like I've listened enough, and like I've critically listening enough to where I can understand the difference in certain players and their instruments and things. And it's like I have a better appreciation of John Coltrane now because I started listening to his contemporaries and things first. And so it's like, oh, that really is different, and it's starting to really jump out.
His what first?
Their instruments and things like that.
What did you listen to first?
Well, I listened to people who weren't John Coltrane first. Right?
Oh, I see.
And now I just have listened enough now that I feel like I understand like where people are coming from and certain opinions and things like that. So I'm forming my own. I've been listening to a lot of John Coltrane lately, and I've been listening to a lot of Miles Davis too. But I think that one of the things, I think I just don't like the trumpet that much.
How dare you?
I think
Yeah,
come on,
sax is
trumpet?
Heard it here.
Damn.
Whoo, come on.
Anti-Trump.
That's ridiculous to
I'm not
say.
Anti-Trump.
I'm not anti, but like
Roy Eldridge, come on,
hey, did you
Dizzy.
guys?
I mean,
you guys
Lee
listen to-
Morgan.
Did you sabotage Clifford Brown?
Clifford
Yeah,
Brown?
yeah.
Come on, man.
Wait, what about that new tone poet? I don't know if it's new at all. The Soul Samba.
Yeah, Quebec.
Yeah, that
Quebec.
fucking record sounds awesome.
I heard good. Yeah, everyone who got that says it sounds great.
It's
Which yeah. So that's like a who's on that? So can you have it with you? Because there's I think like Willie Bobo's on percussion, and I don't know if there's a drummer on it.
And Ike worked for Blue Note, correct?
Yeah, he was like an A&R man, I think.
Yeah, he was a working man for
Yeah.
them.
Alex, do you like Ike Quebec?
I do. I think I just have. It was reissued as a classic maybe last year, there before. I forget what it's called.
Okay.
Pretty soulful.
Yeah.
It's got I forget the organ player on there, but it might be something.
Bill Dixon, maybe something like that. But what do you got?
It's
Louis?
Kenny Burrell on guitar, Willie Bobo on drums, Wendell Marshall on bass, and Garvin Messot
on what?
Shakir.
Right. So I think it's like a mostly percussive album. Rhythmic percussive, obviously. I mean, it's bossa nova, but like it's
fucking great.
You know, there's another bossa nova record on Blue Note by Charlie Rouse, and I think it's called it's called Bossa Nova. I forget, but
big fan.
I don't
of
think
Charlie Rouse.
I don't think it's as acclaimed as the Ike Quebec though. Also, the Ike Quebec cover design is top notch. Is that a Reed Miles cover design on that?
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, who's the
Freddie
organist?
Roach on it. Freddie
Roach.
That's right.
What did I say? Bill Dixon? Is that
Bill Dixon's a trumpet player.
This is Reed Miles cover.
Yeah.
Willie Dixon?
What was I thinking? I think there is a Dixon organist though.
Well, here's in the same, oddly very similar color schemes here. You know, it's funny. Mobley's been one of those people that I've kind of, I don't know, have gone to. I don't know that I have the vocabulary to explain why, but he's just become one of those players I just like everything of. But in the trumpet world, there's a lot of them. But this was a recent, I guess this came out maybe a month or so ago, but Kenny Dorham, Whistle Stop.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Who has Hank on here as well. He's one of those people too. Because what was it Quiet Kenny that came out for Record Store Day, like in mono or something that people they crafted?
Oh, yeah.
I think.
And the reason they went for that one so much is the originals are 4 figures.
Yeah,
right.
It's like $2,000, $3,000.
It's insane. And so, because I think I have.
That's very different than the Quiet Kenny though. But right. I mean, Quiet Kenny's like, I think he's playing like muted trumpet on that.
Loud Kenny.
What tracks do they do on that, Alex?
Sorry, I heard the joke there from Louis.
It went over my head.
Yeah, might as well be Loud Kenny is what he's trying to. The joke he's making.
Boisterous Kenneth.
Boisterous Kenneth. What was your question, Mike?
What are the tracks on that?
Philly Twist, Buffalo, Sunset, Sunrise in Mexico, Whistle Stop, Windmill, Dorham's Epitaph. I'm
thinking like that's like a straight up just Blue Note hard bop sesh.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which I think Quiet Kenny I think is it's different.
It is. Yeah.
I guess I would assume it's earlier just stylistically, but I mean yeah. So Kenny, but that I don't know if you saw this, Alex, but I showed this earlier. But Kenny Dorham's on this. This is the Rocky Boyd Quintet on Jazz Time. Oh. It's just some like ridiculously hard to find record that I lucked out on. But yeah, and then what else I've been listening to? I've been listening to a lot of Kenny Dorham. We've been talking about Kenny Dorham a lot on the stream. So anyway, he's great. And yeah, Hank Mobley, I think I would love to get a 1500 Hank Mobley, like original 1500. Oh. Any of those would be amazing. There's something about that era that I love. So to find like a really great copy would be amazing.
I've seen them in Noble before.
Yeah.
Back when one of the first 2 years he opened, he had one on the Holy Moly wall.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's early hard bop stuff that he's playing. But what's great about Mobley, and we've said this before, but he composes like everything. He's mostly like composing. So, you know, when I think about like who the most influential people are, you know, listening to Mobley, he's not just like a sideman or just playing mostly standards and throwing in a track, which many players do. So yeah, anyway, so the fact that he's composing so much, I think, is the most important thing.
I show a record here.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Curious.
Yeah, I'll stop rambling.
Well, no, I was. Well, why am I curious? Because I don't know. Somebody will say, and I'm totally great with this version. I think it sounds just fine to me. I'm not nearly as advanced in a lot of those sort of different ways, but
you don't have to worry about that here.
Our friend Chris, the Groove Seeker, he told me that this was a top 10 of all time for him, and I forget how I heard about it. I as you mentioned, Mike, I work in a local shop here, and I think I just go and flip through the new bins and have I not seen that vote? Have I not seen that? And I saw this and I was like, how do I have no idea what this record is? And so I was like, I need that. Like, I just need that record. But it's Max Roach, Members Don't Get Weary. And for me too, like, and I know this is not, again, like an overly expensive original because it was 68.
Yeah, it is. That's a very expensive record.
It is now.
Very expensive, depending on who's, counting the money, right?
That's like $150 record original.
No, but somebody said earlier, they're like, yeah, it's not that expensive an original. It's only about 300. So
no, I would disagree.
I paid $25 for an original, but I
go look how much the originals are on Discogs right now. You will be surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay.
But for me, it was like, oh, cool. Like, it just kind of caught me. And then again, all these players that I think in a lot of ways because of the Strata East reissue series has like just turned me on like crazy about sitting there. I was like, Gary Bartz, like Charles Tolliver, like like Stanley Cowell, like oh my god. So yeah.
Well, that's what's so great. So Alex, that's exactly why that's so great. That's before Tolliver and Stanley Cowell go on to make Strata East. So it's like the proto Strata East sound. That fucking record is what that Groove Seeker is right. That is a top 10 record.
This is so good.
One of the best
I'll say this too, unlike most things, I don't actually mind the vocal track on here.
Oh my god, no. That's the best fucking track.
Because it's so like, soul conscious and like it sounds more of like, like a
the whole thing is it's a whole it's all part of the same, like it's just one. I feel like are there how many tracks are on that? What's the situation there?
There's 6.
There's 6, okay.
But I think that's the title track, right? Isn't that just the vocal track's the title track?
Rich, come on up. You got the link.
But yeah, that's a great point. I didn't even think about it. It's like that's the Strata East kind of sound, right?
Yes, it's brilliant. When I like stumbled onto that, I was aware of it. I mean, I remember when they reissued it, but I just never really, or even if I dove in, I just didn't get it. But then I got it, and it is fucking awesome.
How did you get it?
Well, no, I mean, I knew to look out for it because I wanted it. Well, the story is, it was happenstance. It's really because it's ignorance, because I didn't know that. And then I went to see the Tyson Shorey show, Members Don't Get Weary, which that wasn't titled at the time. And I'm watching it, and at the end, a vocalist comes out and starts singing Members Don't Get Weary. And I'm like, this is amazing. This whole experience was like incredible. And I'm still not connecting this to Max Roach. I'm just watching this thing. And then later on, whatever reason, I started just listening to all Max Roach's stuff just to see what I would want to pick up. And I got to that and I heard it and it like clicked. And I was like, and it made the record even more like amazing to me. So there's a bias there, I admit, but it is a great record.
Yeah, but how did you get the record?
Oh, I got it from FMU, from you and Dom, I think, picked it up for me, right?
Yeah, but what did you have for breakfast the day that you got it?
Dave is claiming this as a scalp. What's that?
What did you have for breakfast the day that you got that record?
Anyway, I do want that's a great pickup, Alex. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well,
and
done.
also like, I mean, again, like we probably don't talk about Real Gone a whole lot, but I mean, in terms of, I think there is a like analog, more audiophile reissue out there, but for like $25 dollars, I'm good with most of the stuff that they do.
I'm sure it sounds great.
Does my microphone sound messed up? Okay, I do want to move on. Speaking of Sinatra, I do want to move on to the reissue. What do you want?
Before we do that, can I hijack this for just 1 second?
Go ahead.
I think that I'm witnessing the fall of Western civilization right now.
What you
What's
talking about,
happening?
Willis?
I'm watching the Broncos preseason game, and they are putting advertisements on the first down marker.
Oh no!
It's the Invisalign 2nd and 4.
Well, they just got another promo here. So go get your Invisalign, folks. Get those teeth straightened out. All right. Thank you, Louis. All right, let's move into, first of all, we got Louis' album here. We got multiple
Well,
artists here,
Costco, I
folks,
love you.
on the stream promoting their stuff. Okay, let's see if we showed all that. Okay. The other reissue, and then after this, actually, I'm going to let the poll run. So I'm going to put a poll for these new reissues. We have all the OJCs plus the Sinatra at the Sands. Let us know what you are most interested in. So I'm going to start the poll now. So of those 4 that were announced, which one are you most interested in? This is Sinatra at the Sands, 60th anniversary 2LP vinyl file. So there is a copy that's in print by UMA. It's not part of any series. It's like just, I don't know, just their basic production of Sinatra at the Sands. I have it. I also have the mono copy. I like the modern reissue and I like the mono. Hey, what's up, Rich?
Hi.
Did we lose? Oh, we lost Alex. Alex, I don't know if you removed yourself or not, but your camera's off.
We gain Rich.
All right, so here's the thing with Sinatra at the Sands, and Rich, you'll appreciate this. Quickly, before I say this, I'm just saying this because they're reissuing Sinatra at the Sands. This was an announcement on vinyl file. So I have the current imprint stereo copy that's digital. It sounds lovely. The audience is clear. It's a really clear sounding copy that is probably my preferred copy. But then I have the mono copy, the original mono from 66, and I like that better. And it's very similar to like collecting OG Blue Notes and modern Blue Notes. Like I like them both for different reasons. So I have the original mono and I have the current reissue. This new vinyl file copy they don't say it's AAA, so I suspect it's digital. I imagine the current one that's in print that I have is probably digital too. And anyway, they announced it, but I think it's important I know I was just kind of criticizing OJC for putting something out that's already in print. This I do feel like is probably more of a premium version, although the current one sounds great. But I do feel like with Sinatra, between the tone poets, the capital tone poets that are being put out, the riddle stuff in particular that they're doing, and the bassy Sinatra reprise stuff, which includes this and 2 other albums, I think those are the most essential Sinatra that I would recommend to people. The riddle, capital stuff, and the bassy reprise stuff. Now, there are plenty of other things like Come Fly With Me with Billy May. I would also consider that essential. But I would just say if I had to reduce the eras to like what I'd recommend, I'd probably pick a couple of the riddle and a couple of the bassy. And I think if you have those, that's like some of the best Sinatra recordings. So having Sinatra at the Sands in print and vinyl file, I feel like there's a lot of people that are going to buy this. Does anyone on the panel have any thoughts on this before I continue?
First of all,
You're the Sinatra expert, man.
All right, Rich, since you just joined, what do you think or not think? What do you got?
You told me that you love the Sinatra record where I don't even know what it is. It's just that it was the one where he's singing about how lonely he is or whatever.
Oh, well, there's many.
Come on,
they're
which
considered,
one is it?
They're considered as torch records. There's the Suicide album, which I think is No One Cares. And that's a Gordon Jenkins arrangement.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
The Gordon Jenkins, there's another Gordon Jenkins, All Alone. It's one of those 2, but those are really depressing torch albums where they do standards that everybody loves. Like I Got a Cottage for Sale. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that, but if you know these songs, these are incredible, gut-wrenching renditions of these, and they're awesome. They're just peak Sinatra. That said, I would recommend the Riddle over that. Riddle does have Sings for Only the Lonely as well as Wee Small Hours, so you do get great torch records. They're just not as depressing though. Rich, go on.
That's it. That's all I got.
So, do you know this? But okay, let me just probe a little bit. Are you familiar with this concert?
No, I mean,
Probing.
I bought a couple of original Mono Sinatras less than a year ago, and I kind of just decided it wasn't for me, like collecting wise.
Okay.
You know, I appreciate what he does, and I think I can listen to that stuff and enjoy it. But as far as me collecting it and putting it on myself, I don't know if that's my lane. I watched the Sinatra documentary and I loved it. I love the historical aspect of all this stuff. It's not quite the same thing for me.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's go to Alex. Alex, thoughts on the Sinatra?
Yeah, he is a artist that utmost appreciation and respect for. It's never really been my thing. So I probably not best to comment on any of it, but it's gonna maybe like a bunch of Sinatra haters, but no, like I'm sure it's great.
Honestly,
great. Like
I mean, I don't know what I was expecting here. I mean, I've been doing these like community streams for a while, and I do realize that Sinatra is not really like collected by a lot of people in my orbit, at least. I'm definitely an outlier when it comes to Sinatra.
Well,
Um,
I'm
but
glad.
yeah.
I'm glad at the time I hadn't known you very long, but when I found that stash at my local, he was getting ready to throw them away.
Mm-hmm.
All the 78s. So those
Yeah.
were literally saved because you like Sinatra, dude.
Honestly,
I do have a couple Sinatra 78s. I do have a couple.
I actually
those
just
were
picked
so
one
cool
up.
to see.
Yeah.
That I really like.
Which ones do you have, Rich?
I have him singing Autumn in New York and A Lovely Way to Spend an Evening. Those are the one side of the two records that I really like on Columbia. And I guess I didn't even think about it that much, but one of them or both of them are during like a musician's strike in the 40s.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
So it's all vocal.
No band.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, remember we talked about that at Ray's when Bill was there?
Yeah. Oh, the story is very well integrated into Sinatra's catalog because he had to essentially stop recording for the most part, with exceptions. So we're talking about early 40s during World War II. So the American, government basically created V-Disc to create entertainment for the troops. So Sinatra recorded a lot for V-Disc. And what's kind of interesting is they have him do these takes where he's speaking to the troops and just saying like that he supports them. And then he'll go into the song. And, honestly, it's not my favorite arranged stuff. I tend to really like the more modern stuff. I feel like the 40s Sinatra is like semi-modern. It's still like a little old, and I can appreciate that. And I do appreciate that. But there's a whole thing when he comes to Capitol, it sounds modern, even though, what's to come is anyways. But Louis, what do you think about Sinatra and his vocal abilities, you being a singer?
Oh my God. Frank Sinatra.
Are you better than him, Louis?
No.
No.
Get the fuck out of here. Be a good kitty. God. Frank Sinatra is an amazing singer. He's above criticism, in my opinion. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's definitely hacky stuff that he put out that I would steer people away from.
I don't like the way he sounds. Like, hear me out. Like, I am just not a fan of Frank Sinatra because I don't like the way he sounds. Do I recognize that he's a fantastic singer? Yeah.
There is a lot of hacky stuff that I think people have, and this is my assumption. I'm sure this is true to a certain degree, but the like New York and My Way is late career Sinatra. Like he had, the 50s in particular were just very different. So
now hold on, the 50s were different.
For his voice, I'm talking about like his style and his voice.
Generally America.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, Dave, what do you think about this? And then we'll wrap this piece up.
Again, another one similar to what we showed earlier with the OJCs. This is going to sell.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's not gonna. They'll move units, so it's definitely
Yeah.
a worthy release.
Yeah, it doesn't need my recommendation, but it's probably the reason why I got into Sinatra. It is a great live concert. The songs are just performed incredible, and Basie's awesome. So, and the band is really good. It's like, I think like Frank Foster, like Thad Jones, like these are like killers in the Basie band. It's really these are. I mean, it's billed as Sinatra, but like those albums are basically like Basie band with Sinatra vocals. Like that's what
Wow.
it kind of is, because I don't know, that might be stretching, but it's pretty co-led, I will say. Like Basie's style. So that's like the other thing to talk about. That we haven't even spoken about the music. So Quincy Jones matching Basie with Sinatra was brilliant, because Basie, his style is known to just be real simplistic. Like the joke is he'll just hit a note and just let it go, and it just swings mega hard. So like you got that type of band leader with Sinatra, and the thing just swings like crazy. And Sinatra like plays off of it. Like there's a point in one of the tracks where he's like, saying he's gonna like blow the roof off something, and he's like leveraging the horn section to help like extend that. And it's just such a amazing performance. I don't know. I have side A on that. The whole side, there's 3 tracks on it. It's just incredible. Just listen to those 3 tracks. I probably listened to them over 100 times.
Interestingly, I watched a documentary last night, and it was about a jazz singer, and I'm already forgetting her name. This is terrible.
Neil Diamond.
Last name Sloan. Was it Carol Sloan? Or
That's a great joke.
I got that one.
Thanks, Mike.
I'm a fan.
Go on, Dave.
Do you remember her?
Who?
I think it's I can't remember. It's last name Sloan, and it wasn't really even her real last name. She took that name as a stage. I think it was Carol Sloan. Anyway, and she was late in life, and they did a documentary about her performing at Birdland, and they were gonna film it and record it, and it was excellent. And she was a jazz singer, and she was inspired, of course, from like Billie Holiday and Ella and all of that. And her story is very interesting. She came down and took a gig at a club in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I think she was originally from Providence, Rhode Island, and her whole goal was to get to New York City. But she did that, and then came down to Raleigh and played that place for years. And she played with some great, sang with some great pianists alongside her. That was a good doc. It was a good doc, and she did a heck of a job. I mean, at that age at Birdland, it was really cool.
All right, we do have a poll going. I encourage everybody to go log your vote in to the poll. Also, I don't want to miss the opportunity, but the poll is brought to you by Jazz Bumps Polling. Jazz Bumps Polling is for entertainment only and does not reflect official data or endorsements.
Bird lives.
All right, Rich, what's up? What's going on? I'm interested in what you're collecting, what you're doing.
I've been like this summer. I've spent a lot of time outside of jazz collecting rhythm and blues 45s.
Nice.
So we can move on from that.
Okay. I'm kind of getting into some 45s too. So WFMU this year is going to be, I'm going to just really be looking for some 45s on my list. I'm going to kind of try to skip the LP thing a little bit. I might look at three dealers and then go to just do 45s.
Speaking of 45s, you guys got to get Dave's 45, man.
Yeah, we promoted it earlier. I'll drop a link to it again. But Dave, actually, Rich, you might be interested in this. Dave released, he pressed the 7-inch EP. I don't know if you saw, of a performance him and his friend put together in 2008. So anyway, I thought it was pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Got a Groove did it for us. James Buttery from the Vinyl Community did the layout for the artwork. Joe did the artwork himself for the cover. Drummer.
So it's math/angular rock instrumental duo from North Carolina.
Sounds really up my alley. Yeah.
Proto Angie by a
It's
train.
garage as fuck. It's awesome.
Well, I think Alex Diamond Marimba, when he heard it, he was like, "Yeah, this sounds like some early Drag City stuff." I thought it was
great.
a good
All right.
comparison.
I'm checking out.
Nice. Very cool.
I'll
So
show you a 45 that's got
Yeah,
a
let's
jazz
see what you got.
connection.
Yeah.
I'll show you one. Fling. I sort my 45s by label name. So this is Mary B, 1962. I believe the A is considered something for baby, which is really the lyrics are something for you, baby.
Mhm.
all right.
That's written by Mary Banks, the singer. And the B side is Since I Fell for You.
What a
Written
sweet
by-
label that is.
Joe Josie, really written by Joe Josie. But I have the 78, which is, I believe the artist is, oh God, I'm going to butcher this. I don't have it on hand, but I have a 78 with Since I Fell for You with a husband and wife duo that it was sort of the original release on Decca. And anyways, the reason I can't, Buddy Johnson featuring Ella Johnson. I was going to say Buddy Johnson. Yeah, Buddy Johnson featuring Ella Johnson. I came to this song through Lee Morgan's Candy.
Oh, no shit.
Oh, right. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so-
yeah.
So how does Lee's solo match up against her vocals?
I mean, my thing with this rhythm and blues stuff is like my lane is clearly raw, kind of gritty sounding, like really hard R&B vocals, and like she's got that going on, man. She really lays into the mic, and it's very different than Lee playing a trumpet solo on that song. You know,
Interesting.
Lee
Yeah.
is very very pretty the way he plays that ballad. You know, she plays it at a slow tempo. It's a ballad tempo, but
Mhm.
she screams it. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And
I
it's
wanna hear it.
awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, man.
Can you say that the artist and name just for people listening?
Just Mary
if
B. It's pretty obscure.
Okay.
Mary B. The A is something for baby, but something for you, baby. Actually, it's on my website.
Nice.
I
What's
put
your
it up
website?
I put it up on DG Mono recently. I actually revamped. Oh, that's something I could talk to you about. I revamped the collection section on my website. You want to pull it up?
There you go.
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
this is cool to
I
see.
love
this,
I love a good UI discussion. Here we go.
Yeah, I know you do.
All right. Okay, so what are we doing here? Where am I going?
Collection.
Okay, hold on. Maybe make this a little
Top
bigger.
left.
Here we go. Okay.
So this was my first experience using AI agentically,
Okay.
which means that I had tasked it to transfer.
And then you went and had
all of-
lunch.
Not even close, dude. No, it needs a lot of help.
Oh no, I'm
trust me,
kidding. I'm kidding.
at this point. But anyways, I created this filterable thing that is like just all like different genres, different formats.
Long live mono. Is that your quote or is that somebody else's quote? I feel like I've heard
That's
that
me.
before.
That shirt
you,
says
okay.
back to mono. That guy, that journalist.
Oh,
is wearing.
right. I might be mixing
Yeah,
that up.
I forget
Okay.
his name.
Okay. All right. So let's take a look at what we have here. So this is this is like the top stuff in your collection, right?
yeah.
Like the stuff you like to showcase.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
not everything, but and aside from switching it all over to being database driven, where it's not all static pages, which was getting really annoying to update.
Okay.
It's got like more stuff in it now. It's got my 45s and oh, you know what? You can't.
This is the
I don't
best
think
right
you.
here.
Oh, you know what's interesting is the way you're sharing. You can't see the drop downs, Mike. when
Right.
you-
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
just sharing the window so the drop downs don't appear. Okay.
Yeah. So you just filtered by 10-inch. Yeah.
Yeah, which is the coolest. This Terry Pollard is high on my want list. That's very cool. You have that.
Yeah, everything on my website in the collection section has needle drops. Everything.
So
Oh, wow.
Terry Pollard, she was, I think, a Detroit
Not the whole
piano
album,
player.
Dave, but one or two tracks, London Jazz Collector style.
Okay.
That's always been my thing.
That's really cool, though. So
with
kind of
my
like a
blog.
band, like your own little band camp.
So
Yeah, or I was thinking actually about AIing a player for it, and I think I'm going to do that at some point. So you
hold
can
on, it looks like when
shuffle
I went back, it went.
all my needle drops. Oh yeah,
Hold
Mike,
on.
the back thing. I'm sorry, Mike. The back thing is wonky. That's the only thing.
Okay.
When you go
all right.
back, it's wonky. I gotta. That's one thing I gotta update.
I mean, these are very cool records
Oh,
here.
the Monk. Wow.
Yeah,
I really want that.
these
record.
are cool. These Vogue. These are you only have these two Vogues, is that right? Yes, because that's why they're alphabetized.
Yeah, I think so. Those are the only two I have. Yeah.
This one is a UK, right? LDE's UK. Are these UK or are these French? You know?
UK. They're UK.
UK. Okay. Yeah. I think mine are UK as well. Okay.
Those Herbie Nichols, dude.
These are
That
ridiculous that
story.
we got these.
Should I tell that story really quick if I'm gonna
Sure.
hog the
Yeah, go ahead.
spotlight?
Yeah.
So these Herbie Nichols were at a local shop this summer. Actually, it was in the spring I saw them first, called Last Vestige in Albany, New York. And they were priced kind of high, not crazy. I don't know. What should I do here? Should I say the prices or should I not? What's people's vote? I don't know.
I mean, I think it's fine to say the price. I don't think people care.
Yeah, we need to know what your definition of crazy is.
Yeah, so they were for this record, I think it's like, pretty, people would agree. 400 and 500 were not insane.
Right.
And they were graded VG on Discogs. And this is a local shop,
Okay.
I found them on Discogs, but they had good descriptions. Like the descriptions were very positive.
Mm-hmm.
I ignored it for a few months, and then I got a stipend from a professional development I did this summer with my job. So I was like, I'm gonna go check these records out. So I went down to Last Vestige, and they pulled them out for me, and they were beautiful. They were really beautiful, and put them on their player, and they sounded great. And frankly, they're VG plus, and so the owner, the shop just went under new ownership. A former employee is the owner now, and he's a really cool guy that I actually had never talked with before, but we really hit it off. And I just made a cash offer of $700 for both of them, and he took it, no questions asked.
Nice.
Those are extremely rare records.
Yeah, they're very rare in that condition. I would say that they're top copies. And VG, that's the kind of record where VG Plus is top, I think.
Yeah,
those are
just to find it all.
So those are those 1954, Rich? Those sessions.
55. 55.
55. So what's the deal with the recording situation? Since you are a expert.
Well, that was in 55 in Hackensack, where there's a slew of trios that were done, piano trios done at Hackensack in 55 that I adore. The drummer on these
what's another trio?
Blakey, right? The drummer on these is Blakey, right? Yeah.
I think that's right.
So so it's these two. It's the Monk that you guys just saw, the Monk trio that you just saw is 55 with Blakey. And then there's also Randy Weston did a 10-inch for Riverside at the same time with Art Blakey.
Oh, that's a Hackensack.
That's
session?
down there too. If you go down,
right.
That's in my collection too. Yep.
Is it this one here?
Yep. Yeah. So I have all of them. I got the Monk, the Weston, and the Nichols now, and they are just
Blakey.
wonderful trio recordings of the Hackensack living room in 55. Man,
Interesting.
they're all wonderful from a recording perspective. I'm sorry, I'm ignoring people in the chat, but the thing about the Herbie Nichols records is like they told me, like I said, where did you get these? And the guy was totally cool about it. He was like, I got them from a woman in Troy. And I was like, really? That's interesting. And he was like, yeah. And like, she like knew all these jazz musicians. She had all these great stories.
Nice.
And I was just like, that's cool. sounds like the kind of person I'd like to talk to. And he was like, oh yeah, I'll give you her contact information. So I got her contact information. Mike, do you remember me telling you the story?
I know you got lunch with her, right?
Yeah. Well, I had coffee with her or whatever. Yeah, but she met up with me. I think she's 81 years old. Her name's Julie Lameau. She bought these records at the age of 14 in Milwaukee, in downtown Milwaukee.
Wow.
That's crazy. So, and one of them, they both had her name on the back, but in very small writing. But one of them had she numbered all the records. Like one of them is 98, and the other one's like 180 something or something like that. But there's a picture on eBay. If you type in Julie Lameau, you can see a picture of her at a Wisconsin radio station with her mother.
How do you spell her name?
I'll put it in the chat here. Julie Lomoe. If you search that on eBay, you'll see a picture of her come up, and she's holding Miles Davis cooking. She's at a radio station with her mother.
Wow.
Lomoe.
Oh.
Yeah, there she is. But you got to go to eBay,
Let's
I
see.
think, otherwise it's not going to come up. The
right.
picture. It's
What a
for
great
sale,
story.
actually. An original print of it is for sale. Julie Lameau. Yeah. There it is. Right there. There she is.
You got to get this picture, man.
I know. And it's best offer. Yeah, look at that,
Yeah,
dude.
get
Oh,
that-
she has
That's
Wayne.
very cool.
No, she's got Lucky Thompson in her hand. Yes, there's Cook
Oh yeah,
and
that's
Max
the ABC
Roach.
Paramount Lucky Thompson.
Wow.
She said
That's
Max
Steven.
Roach
That's
stayed
that's the OJC they're reissuing. This record is
That's
everywhere.
all
She,
tied together.
She said Miles Davis stayed at her house once. Max Roach was a very close friend of her family's. She flew to Massachusetts to do a 3-week piano camp with John Lewis.
Oh wow.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and then she ended up in New York City. She lived there for a long time. Then she moved up to Poughkeepsie, and then she moved up to Troy.
Yeah.
So
Very cool.
Cool. So that was all crazy. That was just such a cool story.
That is a cool story. Those records are. I have the classic series reissue where they put both the titles on a 12-inch, and then I also have the Tone Poet Herbie Nichols trio, like 15,
Rich.
14 or whatever.
Yeah. What's
yeah.
up, Dave?
Rich, I have a question. So did you mention that on her name written on the record?
Yeah, it's not on the actual label of the record, but on the jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was very, very common.
Yeah.
To write your,
yeah,
to
of
write
course.
your, at least your last name
Dude,
on a record.
if you collect 45s, you have to know about that.
Yeah.
Also, just a programming note: we're gonna go for like 20 more minutes, just
Okay.
so people.
Sure.
Well, I got a really good story to kind of go along with this.
Yeah, her name's still on this one here.
Yeah.
This one was penned. So.
Yeah. See that?
Okay.
I
Yeah,
always
that's fine.
really kind of like that.
Yeah, that's very tasteful. Yeah.
Yeah, because it reminds me of a story that happened for me. Kind of not like I didn't get to meet the person, that was incredible. But the first time I ever went to
awesome.
Carolina Soul in Durham, it's a very, very small shop. You walk in and there's a wall on your right and a wall on your left and one bin, all the way back, and not much room in the middle. And I got there probably an hour after open, and there was some good stuff on the wall. There was a couple of ESP disc originals on the wall, and I was very interested in them. And my friend Joe met me there, and the owner of the shop was there, and I learned a lot about Carolina Soul that day because I learned that eBay has nothing to do with the shop.
Interesting.
Their eBay is run completely by them, but that's just collections they buy on consignment, almost strictly. And so the stuff in the shop is not something that is dealt with through eBay.
Totally separate.
Anyway, I ended up getting two ESP disc titles. They had the Pharoah Sanders quintet and the Noah Howard at Judson Hall. So I got these, and what was interesting is on the back it had the last name Kalau or Kalau on the back, and I thought that was interesting. So I looked into that because the guy said he got this. He said it was the most, and this is Carolina Soul's owner talking. He's like, this is the greatest free jazz collection we have ever got in.
When was this day?
Ever. And it was a Duke Professor's collection. So I went on the Duke site and looked for the last name, and it was a woman from New York that had been from New York City, and it was her collection.
Oh.
And she had told them that, yeah, my son or whoever is not going to want this, so she ended up selling it to Carolina Soul, and they put it in the shop. And the owner told me, yeah, if you were here an hour earlier, the entire walls, both of them were her collection, and the bins. But the Disc Union guys were here from Japan and dropped $8,000 in cash.
Those pesky Disc Union guys.
All right,
so if I was there at open, I would have had access
Dave,
to probably,
Dave, how long ago was this?
30 or 40 more ESP disc titles.
Dave, how long
that
ago
was a crazy day. I was happy to get what I got.
I don't know why I can't.
But
what's up?
It's cutting me out. Well, how long ago was it, Dave? I don't know why.
Can Dave hear us? Is he frozen?
Oh, maybe not.
yeah.
Dave, how long ago was it?
That was some years back.
All right. All right.
There's
Look,
something going on with this
Alex,
thing?
I gotta jump. I gotta jump in here.
All 5 times say how long ago it was, and like Dave didn't hear it. One time.
What happened?
I thought nobody could hear me.
We're moving on. We're moving on.
Abbott and Costello skit. Jesus.
Listen, Louis and Alex, I have an assignment for both of you. I need you to find a cheap eat recommendation. We have like 15 minutes or so, and I'm going to show something, and then I want you guys to jump in and show some cheap eat. Putting you on the spot. Jazz, of course, jazz. All right, and now I do want to turn our attention to something. And Rich, I'm glad you're here because of your kind of engineering interest. So I went to Jerosa Records because on their Instagram they had a Conjamal steeplechase Dark Warriors. I got there and it was sold already, so I was flipping through the bins and I really couldn't find anything. But there was this, which I'm always happy to get. So these are Peter Inn's label Wave. They're UK pressings of US recordings when he was in the United States playing with Sal Mosca and Lee Konitz and Warren Marsh and Ronnie Ball. These are all the Tristano guys. So in the 50s, they did record for bigger labels, but Peter Inn inherited Lenny Tristano's Presto. I want to say this correct. I think Presto tape machine in, I think, 55, I want to say, around 55. And then he later upgraded, I think, in like 59 to an Ampex, or maybe he got the Presto earlier. He got the Presto in 55, and in early 58, he got the Ampex.
No, he had the Presto before 55. Maybe
from Tristano, though.
Oh, I
think he.
Right, yeah.
So he starts.
Who got it from Tristano?
Peter Ind. The bass player that played with all the Tristano guys during kind of the heyday in the mid 50s.
Okay.
So anyway, so he was the bass player from the UK. He came to the States and started working with Tristano's group. He went back to the UK in 66, and in 1970 he started putting out these mid 50s recordings of them, and they're really well recorded. Some are better than others depending on the tape machine, but the Ampex recordings are really good. And a lot of the recordings are from his loft or his apartment. And so it's all closed mic, and you can hear like Warren Marsh sounds really good on some of these. Mm-hmm. So I don't know like the whole setup, but these are really beautiful playing. This cool school stuff is just amazing to listen. And what this is it's like, it's not even like the way I'm hearing it. It's like, yes, they do some compositions, but a lot of these are like, let's turn it on. Peter Inn puts down a bass line, and Warren Marsh just like solos over it, and then takes a breath, and then goes into another solo, and they just keep going. It's very, because you have to think like Tristano had the first free improvisation recording at Capitol, and these guys are on it. I'm pretty sure Peter In's on it as well, but all these other guys are. So that's like what they're playing here. It's not like totally free, but you could tell that like the composition is loose, and these guys are just going. And I wouldn't call it like practice, but it's like, I don't know, it's like a communal sound, and it sounds fantastic. So these are Wave records, and they're cheap heat. This is like $15 and maybe even cheaper. There's not that many copies of these.
What do you mean by Wave? Wait a second. You're saying Wave, the Japanese reissues?
No, this is the Peter In label, Wave Records.
You said that's what, British?
Yeah, UK pressed. The tapes are US recordings. It's when Peter In basically left and he started, he wanted to get this music out. He also is a painter. So artistic dude, really cool. You could look at interviews online. He's a really had an interesting life, really interesting artist. But these waves are so cheap.
Did he paint that? Did he paint that?
Yeah, that's it. So this is
that's beautiful.
This is Oil Pastel by Peter In.
That is beautiful, man.
1960. He does a number of the covers. So this one is great. It's got Warren Marsh tenor, Ronnie Ball piano, Eddie DeHaas bass, Peter In bass, and Bob Minakuki brushes. So yeah, this is recorded in Peter In's East Side Manhattan studio apartment on August 9th, 1960. So this would have been the Ampex recording. But I'll send you a link to this, Rich. But I have that, and then I have a couple other ones. So this is Peter In Sal Mosca, so just a duo, piano, bass. And then this is also Sal Mosco and Peter In. So Sal Mosco, he didn't really record for major labels. So that's what got me into Wave, is to get his stuff. Wave did a good job of featuring him. So I wanted more like Tristano school, style on piano. So this is good. But yeah, so I recommend checking out Wave. I'm surprised it's not more popular. Yeah, I don't know. And like Peter In has solo based albums where it's all free improvisation, and it's definitely a label to check out. And the stuff is not crazy expensive yet, but there you go. All right, any thoughts on that? Okay, cool.
It's awesome.
Right. Alex, you're up. What do you got for cheap heat?
Well, I mean, hey, that's really all I know. My way kind of like into all this stuff was finding a lot of those, like, I guess you would maybe call them on like in the grand scheme, like the latter half of their career. But it was like always interesting to me of like, wow, like I see these artists on like Blue Note or these other labels and they're all multiple hundreds of dollars. These records are just a few years later and they're like 10 to 15. Are they that much worth? Again, like just those questions that you ask. But for sake of this activity, I think all of that's I guess at this point, like 71 onward stuff on Milestone from McCoy Tyner, I think is all amazing. Sahara is kind of this is a wild record, but this is a great record. I love that stuff. The live album, Enlightenment, that's a sweaty McCoy right there.
Blazing.
Yeah, those lights are hot.
But like these are not like, this is like Trident in the Shrink with the hype.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that was like $12 maybe. Like, I mean,
yeah.
This is live from '78, but still pretty good. And I mean, I still think like Focal Point's a good record too. Like, I think all those are great records. In that whole era. But I want to show this too because underrepresented on your stream all the time. This is a guy who got super smooth in the late '70s into the '80s, especially.
Okay.
His records I struggle with because they're just so inconsistent. Where you go from like, man, that was some of the stankiest, funkiest, fusiony, fiery stuff to like elevator music, like within the next, and it's just so hard. But I got this for 50 cents, and it like at a local place that was doing some kind of stupid sale, and I was like, I don't think anybody's even opened this. Like, it is so unbelievably clean, jacket and everything. This is fantastic, and it's Grover Washington Jr.
There you go.
It's his live record on Kudu.
Well done.
Oh,
well done.
This is a funky record, man. Like, it is not
Kudu.
Again, like a lot of the stuff at that point, like what Mr. Magic and all that kind of stuff, you're like, you go from again like some of the stanky, funkiest stuff to like Fuzak. Like, it's just inconsistent for me. This is consistently pretty badass. So, I
Very
mean, this
cool.
is such a cheap, like so much of the Kudu stuff is so cheap now. But this is pretty stanky in the best way. And it's like a $5 record, maybe,
Yeah,
if that.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Not a lot of Grovers walking
Nice.
around anymore.
You
All
just
right.
don't see it, do you?
You don't see a lot of Grovers or Kermits in the
All
wild.
right. Louis, you're on the hot seat. Let's go.
Archie Shep, Coral
Yeah.
Rock.
Woo. Okay.
Tough
Tell us
listen.
about that. I know of it. I just don't know too much about it.
It only has 2 tracks, Coral Rock and I Should Care. Archie Shep, and then a lot of people I don't know.
Okay.
But it's super wild, super challenging. I love it.
That's on a Prestige.
You know
That's a
this record,
Prestige
Dave?
reissue.
No, I think this is an OG.
I've always thought hip, free guys playing standards is pretty hip.
Yeah, agreed.
And Dollar Brand, RIP.
What is it?
Hold on, my stupid sound on my friggin' stream. Over there. It's African Marketplace.
Yeah.
God damn it.
All right. Well, to your point, Rich, Archie Shep has a blues and spirituals, not like spiritual jazz, but like doing spirituals on Steeplechase, and it sounds absolutely beautiful. So it's just funny because like I know his voice more from like some of his like freer stuff with Coltrane and like the New York Contemporary group that he had, and that stuff's wild. So to hear him play like a spiritual like that is like pretty deep, and it shows like just the skill that he had, which I guess people criticized him and his playing, but he wanted, I mean, it seemed like he had the abilities to play however he wanted, but I don't know. I mean, maybe not as technically skilled as like a Coltrane or something, but I think he was pretty damn good. But yeah, I don't know. All right.
I'm switching to Moving Coil tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us more.
Well, now I have a resolving system, so I want to see what all the fuss is about with Moving Coil.
Did you get a step up thing?
No, my amplifier has a good phono stage, and I electrically matched. That's how I chose the Moving Coil.
Okay.
It's a high output moving coil.
No, it's low. It's one of the new Ortofon X20s.
So your preamp has a moving coil setting or something, or it's got capacity
Yeah, I
settings or
just
something.
bought a new system, and I've been listening to so much music, it's ridiculous. I feel like I haven't heard anything before.
We lost Dave.
All right.
And I had some well-reviewed speakers. They never really landed with me, and then I went to the Southwest Audio Show, and I've been doing a lot of research and shit and going to different hi-fi stores and listening to different types of gear and all that stuff. And so, but the price was right, and I got a PS audio system.
All right. We're very excited for you, Louis.
But we're out of time.
We're out of time. I do want to check in with the poll. We haven't checked in with the poll. So we have about 50 votes. So good job, everybody. The poll was, which of these new reissues are you most interested in? The Charlie Brown Christmas, OJC Stereo. Wouldn't it be cool if they did the mono? Come on.
That's a great stereo recording, actually.
Miles Davis Relaxin', also OJC. Coltrane with Red Garland, OJC, and Sinatra at the Sands. The Coltrane with Red Garland is number one with 36%. Charlie Brown is 28. Sinatra at the Sands, 21. Relaxin' is 15. So what do I know? People are buying those records.
I would have voted for Charlie Brown, but I don't even know how to do that if I'm not actually on YouTube.
Yeah, you have to be on YouTube. It's just for the YouTubers.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming. Appreciate this, and we'll see you all next time.
Go Broncos.
It was fun.